My youngest son is 17 years old. He has a white girlfriend. What do I do about this? Is this okay? She's a very nice girl, very pretty, but my wife is upset that she is white. Well, my question for you and your wife would be, why is your 17-year-old son dating a snow bunny? Because if he was raised with the appropriate revolutionary values, he would have never even looked at her. So, to be honest with you, you and your wife have to take responsibility for the snow bunny relationship your teenage son is having. And you might want to have a conversation with him to get him out of that relationship, because a lot of these snow bunnies are killing their black boyfriends and getting away with murder. They're being killed, they're being drowned, they're being beaten. All kind of crazy things are happening to the black boyfriends of snow bunnies. So you and your wife need to make a very important decision as to whether or not y'all need to step in and terminate the relationship. Dr. Umar, you are my GOAT. How can I be an advocate for my son? Come get the training, Sister D'Amica, in Philadelphia, November the 19th. He's being accused of pulling his private parts out in class. He has a hearing today at 2:45. It's his word against theirs. I believe they're going to find in favor of the two white students without even listening to his side. Oh, man. I should have heard from you last week, Sister Danica.
Hello.
Peace and love, Sister D'Amica. Dr. Umar, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
I just saw your text message. Question, what grade is your son in?
He is a sophomore.
He's in high school.
Yes.
And where did he allegedly expose his private parts to these students? Where did this happen? Bathroom, playground? Where did this happen?
Right in class, right in the middle of a session.
Okay, was the teacher in the classroom?
Yes.
Did the teacher see him expose his privates?
No.
Okay, so help me understand how he did this in the class. And they're claiming that who saw it? Two snow bunnies? Who's claiming they saw it?
A white male student. From what they will not tell us who the witnesses are. They just claimed yesterday that there were two students who made a witness statement, and as of yesterday, they have suspended him for 3 days they said until his hearing, which they scheduled for today. And that's pretty much all of the information that we have. This is not in my son's character. I understand that, boys make stupid mistakes, but this is not him at all. And he is saying, no, I did not do this. Now, the one student sits right beside him. The other student, from what we are thinking, it could only be these two students. The teacher was in the back of the classroom. From what another teacher who I spoke with yesterday told me is that her classroom is not a well-lit room. And after they were doing their classwork, he said that he had leaned back and another student in front of him actually turned around to face him and the two students beside him, and they were just talking. And after class, they left class, and he's heading, because this is the last class of the day, they're heading to the bus, and two random kids approached him and were basically saying, hey, we heard from another kid. We don't know who it is. We're not telling you who it is, but they said you did this. And is it true? And they're laughing and they're, making light of the situation. He told me about this Friday, because this is when they're alleging this happened. I'd advised him to just leave it alone, because these are just kids being kids, saying stupid things. Monday, this is when the school contacted me saying, I guess over the weekend, that these kids went home and told their parents that this is what he allegedly did. And they got in contact with the school. The students made a witness statement. And from here, now he has a hearing today. All of a sudden, I regret now not getting in contact with the school on Friday about the situation, because to me, these are just kids being kids. saying whatever against him, but now it's going to a level where this will go on his record. And if found guilty of this today, they're going to try and send him to an alternative school for, I believe they said 45 to 60 days, based off of 2 students.
Okay, is he a special ed student?
He is not.
Okay, couple
questions.
questions.
Honors class.
And this is an honors class.
Yes.
So he's high achieving and has never really been in trouble before.
Never.
Okay, couple of things. Number one, what? Okay, here I'm wondering this. If he did this, these 2 witnesses, first of all, they said discipline school. It sounds like, is this an expulsion hearing? What kind of hearing is this? Is this expulsion to put him out the school, to put him out the district?
They are not saying that it's to put him out.
What did you receive an official letter from them inviting you to this hearing?
No.
You did not receive an official letter?
No.
Then you don't know what this is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty much like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to advocate for my son because
okay.
They're not telling me anything.
Okay, stay with me. You found out about this when? Wednesday?
This happened Friday. The situation happened Friday.
The situation happened this Friday that just passed?
Yes.
And how did you get invited to the hearing? How did you get invited? Did they call you? How did you get invited to the hearing?
So I was at work yesterday. They called me to inform me that I needed to come and pick up my son because there was these 2 students made a witness statement against him, and at that point he is being he has to go home just based off of what they said. So
that was Friday.
For me, that was yesterday.
Yesterday was a holiday. He was in school yesterday.
Yes, they actually went to school yesterday.
Okay,
they were
understood.
Not out of school.
So the situation happened Friday. They called you yesterday to come pick him up. What time did they call you? The morning, the afternoon?
It was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon because I was still at work. I had to leave work to go pick him up from school.
Okay, so the situation happened Friday, but you didn't hear about the situation from the school until yesterday?
Yes.
Okay, so you picked him up yesterday. Is that when they invited you to the hearing today? How did they...
Once I picked him up, they let me know the hearing is scheduled for today at 2:45 in the afternoon. That's the first time.
Okay, what I would do, if it were me, is I would go to this hearing with someone else. Do not go by yourself. Do not go in there by yourself. Take somebody with you, another responsible adult. Do not go alone. You can bring your son if you want, but definitely take another adult and tell them I am simply here to hear what you all have to say, and I am demanding a statement on paper from you all involving this situation, what your disciplinary recommendation is, because I need to have a conversation with my attorney. That's exactly what I would say. Don't you sign nothing. Don't you agree to nothing. In fact, if you can take a lawyer with you, I would take a lawyer with you. What time is it today?
2:45.
Well, this is what I would do. I would call around to some attorneys. I don't know if you're going to get anybody to come on such short notice, but I would rather reschedule than go without an attorney. I would rather reschedule than go without an attorney.
Okay.
You call them, my son is being accused of exposing himself to 2 students. There's no proof at all that he did this except the hearsay of 2 students. Here's what I don't understand, and these are 2 questions you may want to ask.
Yes.
And to be honest with you, because you got nothing on paper, you might not have to go at all. Like, I would call the school, get the email for the principal. Always deal with the principal, because the principal is the only person legally responsible in that building for the decisions made in that building. Don't deal with the dean, don't deal with the vice. I'm dealing with the principal. I would call the school and get the principal's email, and I would send an email. I was called to pick up my school yesterday. I was invited to a hearing today. I received nothing on paper. I am demanding at this time a statement from the school with regard to what happened, the proof against the allegations, the proof against my son, okay? the recommended disciplinary action, and what type of hearing am I being invited to? You should have been given something on paper. And the fact that you have been given nothing on paper tells me they're trying to shaft your son. They're trying to do this off the books, and they're hoping you'll go along with it. He cannot be expelled because 2 students said he showed themselves, and he denies it, and there's no proof. I'm trying to understand 2 questions. Number 1, why didn't they tell the teacher immediately? Why wasn't the teacher told in the class? He showed his wee-wee, and they didn't go tell the teacher. That doesn't make any sense. Think about that. Think about that. A child is going to say immediately, what are you doing? They're going to jump up and make a scene. You're not going to wait till the last minute to tell that. You tell that immediately. So why didn't they tell immediately? That's number 1. And number 2, how could the teacher not see this or know about this?
Yes.
It sounds like total nonsense.
Exactly.
What I would do, and I'm going to be honest with you, technically, because you have nothing on paper, they didn't tell you he can't come to school. Technically, without them giving you something on paper, they have no right to deny him education. And that needs to, you know what? A couple things you're going to do. I don't think you go to that meeting today. You could. If you go, take somebody with you, sign nothing. I am here to hear from you all, but I must leave with a statement of the accusation against my son, the recommended disciplinary, sanction, and the evidence. That you could go to get a statement. You could. Okay, you could. I'm not against, but sign nothing and agree to nothing. I'm here for a statement because I need to have a conversation with my attorney. So you could, or you could not go, but send an email in place of you going. Until I get something in writing, I'm not attending. And if I don't get something in writing by tomorrow, my son will be returning. Because why was it? You said they said he was suspended, right?
Yes.
But did you get a suspension letter?
No.
This doesn't sound right. If your son has been officially suspended, state law demands you must get a suspension letter. They must tell you he is suspended for 3 days for exposing himself. They cannot send him home without any documentation. So what I would do, call around to the lawyers, call the school, get the principal's email the principal. I need a statement immediately. If he's suspended, what are the consequences? What is the evidence? Okay, as well as what type of hearing are we having? And it has to be postponed because until I get something in writing, I'm not coming in. And if I don't get something in writing within 24 hours, my son will be returning to school. It is illegal for you to deny him education for a reason that has not been placed on paper and the parent hasn't been notified. By law, when a kid is suspended, he has a right to 3 things. He has a right to know the charges. He has a right to know the evidence against him. And he has a right to challenge the evidence against him. Right? So maybe they've done all 3. I don't know. But if they have done all 3, you should have gotten a letter. He cannot be home without a written reason. That's the point that it is illegal for your son to be home without a written reason. You have been given nothing at all. That's not a good place. Nah, they can't do that. They can't do that. And you know what I think? I think they kind of know that they can't do what they want to do with your son. So they're hoping you're just going to go along with this.
Yes. Well, we are ready to fight this for sure. But with nothing on paper, like you were explaining before, I just don't know how to properly advocate for him without just going in there and being extremely angry.
Don't be angry. White folks want you to do that. Don't be angry. White folks want you to do that. Be firm. Right. Be strong. Don't be friendly. But don't be emotional. That's how they get us. Right. This is a chess match. Emotions has no place in chess. Decisions in war must be made rationally. Don't be angry. Go in there with somebody, though. You know, if it were me, I'm thinking, do I go or do I send an email? I think I send an email. You know why? Because it's 7:30 in the morning. School is just starting. I think I'm sending an email and I'm giving them 24 hours to provide me with something on paper that explains to me what is going on and why my son is being denied an education. And I will be consulting with my attorney. I would put that in there. And then I'm spending all day today to find a lawyer to see what I need to do next. And because what should happen is the lawyer should tell you to go ahead and reschedule, and they will come. In fact, if you want, just call around and get a lawyer first, and you can probably send them their letter before the school day is out, just in case the lawyer wants to call them himself, or if the lawyer says, I'm going to go with you. See if you can get a lawyer first. But if you can't find anybody to go with you today, you must send them a letter today. And you must give them 24 hours to provide you in writing with the charges against your son and the consequences, and say exactly what they said. You know, y'all sent him home without any paperwork. Y'all said he was suspended, but I didn't receive a suspension notice, because if he was suspended, he goes back to school after 3 days. But you have no suspension notice. Without a reason for him not to be in school, he must be in school. And what you can do, Queen, you got my number. You can forward me your letter, and I can take a look at it before you send it in. But get that principal's email.
Okay.
And you know what else you might want to do? You might also want to get the superintendent's email downtown and carbon copy the superintendent on your email to the principal. So that way somebody downtown knows what's going on. But it is absolutely 100% illegal for your son to be denied education without a written reason. You have to give written notification. That's the law. Your son is home, and we don't even know why. Technically, we don't even know why. Technically, it looks like you just took him out of school.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so find a lawyer, get those emails, draft that letter, let me see it. If you are moved in your spirit to go to that meeting, sign nothing, agree to nothing, don't leave without a statement, and you must take somebody with you. Do not go by yourself no matter what.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
keep me posted.
Thank you so much for your time.
No problem. All right, sweetie.
Okay.
There is literally a war against black boys. There is literally a war against black boys. Parents, you must teach your son he cannot misbehave. Black boys are not allowed to do what white boys do. Black boys will never get away. A white boy can show his wee-wee and he'll never get in trouble. A black boy shouldn't be doing that anyway, but he's not going to get away with it. Okay? Teach your sons you cannot make mistakes. They will lynch you. There is no such thing as black boyhood in America. There is no such thing as black boyhood in America. There is no such thing as black boyhood in America. All black males are treated as men. All black males are treated as men. Let me see who I got next. Dr.UMAR, I don't have a question. I just have a comment. My son was diagnosed with major depression, showing much aggression in school due to his father being inconsistent. To the fathers out there, your presence is very much needed. Our sons are suffering. I choose to homeschool my son due to the amount of aggression he would show at school. Depression in boys presents as aggression and anger. No 10-year-old boy should have to go through this. I agree with you, Sister Kelly. I agree with you. Black fathers, we must be in the lives of our sons and our daughters. Black fathers, we must be in the lives of our sons and our daughters. And I would also say, black mothers, stop preventing the father from being in the life of his son and daughter. Black mother, stop preventing fathers from being in the life of their sons and daughters. Black mothers, please stop preventing the father from being involved in the life of his sons and daughters. Good point, Sister Kelly. Good point, Queen. Reach out to me so we can catch up and see how's everything going. Diana from Columbia, Maryland. My son is 16. I'm a single retired mom. I see he's growing up and is at a crossroad. As a woman, I cannot teach him how to become a man. Is something missing, and I want him to be led the right way. Any suggestions? Sister Diana, I hope to see you Thursday night at the Everlasting Life Cafe, or I hope to see you on November the 11th at Nat Turnerland, or I hope to see you in Philadelphia on November the 19th for the Black Parent Boot Camp. But here's what I want to say to you, Sister Diana, and all my mothers out there with sons who are who they can no longer control. As soon as the Nat Turner Dessalines Gymnasium is ready at the FDMG Academy in Wilmington, Delaware, As soon as the Dessalines Turner Gymnasium has been approved by license and inspection for occupancy, we will start a rites of passage program for our teenage boys. So you will be able to bring your son to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy a couple weekends out the month. We will take them fishing, hunting, gun training, mentorship. We're going to talk about, what it means to be a black man, how to conduct yourself, how to respect our women. We're going to help him process some of the traumas and hurts and pains that he's been through in his life. So one of the reasons I want to get this school up and running is not only to educate our young boys, but to make sure we can guide and support our older boys. So Sister Diana and all the other mothers out there who got sons and you're concerned about what to do with them, don't worry. FDMG is coming to the rescue. FDMG is coming to the rescue. FDMG will have something for every black man in our community. We will have something for every black man in our community. So please hold on and please support the FDMG Academy on your Cash App, $FDMG School on your Cash App, $FDMG School, and on your PayPal, FDMG Academy.